You saw the thumbnail, you read the title. Hitler has a manga, let's go over that. The manga,
我が闘争
or My Struggle, is an adaptation of Hitler's life and Mein Kampf. It's part of a genre or series called Manga de Dokuha, which is a type of manga published by some Japanese company. That then transferred or merged or something, and another company translates them that doesn't exist anymore. Nothing in English, very complex, not important, moving on. Right, Manga de Dokuha. It's a type of manga that adapts classical literature into a manga format. I'm not going to debate if it's right or wrong, but I would read it if I could. Could, meaning their works are in Japanese, because like I said, this is a Japanese thing, but like another company does translate them, or used to, maybe, I don't know. A lot of news and stuff are all in Japanese, and most companies don't really want to have their name on a Hitler manga, so it's hard as hell to find proper information. Anyways, Hitler manga. It's a short 4-chapter adaptation that speedruns Mein Kampf and Hitler's early life, and surprisingly, or unsurprisingly, since I don't know why they would want to change anything, it's pretty accurate. It's only 4 chapters, so let's quickly recap the story and Hitler lore. Okay, let's get serious. Prologue. We open with groups of people hiding and Nazi soldiers loading up a truck preparing to leave. Germany, prior to World War II. With the soldiers gone, everyone can come out safely. Unfortunately, the store they have been hiding in is now destroyed. One of the survivors say that a few days ago, his sister was taken to a concentration camp. The other asks if she has contacted him. Sadly, the brother doesn't even know if she is alive. Faced with this news, they can only wonder how long they have left until they're captured as well. What have they done to deserve this? Then we are shown a Nazi speech with one of the most repeated political slogans, historically accurate. One people, one nation, one Führer. We hear Hitler's speech. I don't know if it's actually a real speech or just translated differently. Nevertheless, we see his viewpoint. He wants his Reich to last over 1,000 years, for the Germans and Germans alone. He sees other people as a disease infecting the fatherland, with the Jewish people being the worst as opposed to the purity of the Aryan race. He desires to expand Germany's borders, rebuild its military from World War I, and become the supreme power in the world. Lines, Austria, 1899, Hitler's childhood. It's true he loved art, specifically painting, and his father hated it. His father was violent and often beat Adolf. While he absolutely despised his father, he loved his mother. Years later, his father died, of a hemorrhage to be exact, and it's not the only death young Hitler will experience. Back to Adolf painting while a doctor pulls up to his house. The doctor checks on his mother and asks to speak with Adolf. His mother has cancer, breast cancer to be historically exact, and she doesn't have much longer to live. Hitler was devastated by this. When his mother died, the doctor even said that in all my career, I have never seen someone so prostrate with grief as Hitler. Hitler himself wrote in Mein Kampf, I honored my father, but I loved my mother. Now here may be some inaccuracies. Here it says after his mom's death, he applied for art school. Rejected, everyone knows that, but some sources say he applied before his mother's death. I'm not smart enough, moving on. Another aspect the manga got right was Adolf's drawing talent. He was good at painting structures, buildings, and architecture in general. However, everything else was not very good. Regardless of the timeline, with both parents dead, he was left with no source of income. He was left on the streets selling postcards and other paintings. It's here where most people believe Hitler's hate and anti-Semitism started and grew. At age 25, when World War I started, Hitler enlisted and became a soldier. While fighting, he sustained an explosion injury that sent him back to Germany to recover. There, he learned there was a growing anti-war movement. He returned to the front lines and was temporarily blinded by a gas attack. Back recovering in a hospital, he learned of Germany's defeat and surrender. He was not happy. He kept working for the government as a spy on a number of parties that the government suspected of being communist. There, he found the German Workers' Party. They were not communist and shared his extreme anti-Semitic beliefs, so he joined. He was a fantastic speaker and impressed the party and supporters, and he eventually became the party leader. He decided to change the party's name to the National Socialist German Worker Party, or Nazi for short, and gave it a new symbol. That's where Nazis began. Manga over, recap over, serious tone gone. With some artistic liberties, it's pretty historically accurate. Now let's go over the obvious controversies of this manga. Which, somehow, there's pretty much nothing, because again, no one knows about this series. Hell, even the Japanese sites are missing information. One of the pieces of news I found, or controversies I found, was the Ministry of Bavaria, the copyright holder of Mein Kampf, said they wouldn't distribute it in Germany for obvious reasons. As a response, one of the publishers of the book said, Mein Kampf is a well-known book, but relatively few people have read it. We think this will provide clues about Hitler as a human being, as to his way of thinking that led to such tragedy, even though he was dismissed as a monster. So how about controversies of the whole manga de Dokuha genre? Like I said, Manga de Dokuha is a whole series of classical works, made into manga, some short, some long. Most of their works, I'd say, are actually fine and very good, and have no controversies. Some of them you might even like No Longer Human, The Great Gatsby, Moby Dick, fucking Sun Tzu, The Art of War. From what I can actually find, they're actually pretty good adaptations, but again, monolingual skill issue. And there's a lot more, but good luck finding them all because it's a fucking mess and nothing's in English. Monolingual skill issue. Surprisingly, they have gone mostly under the radar. I don't see pretty much anyone talking about Manga de Dokuha, except a Reddit post here and there, of course, about the Hitler manga. So Hitler manga, surprisingly good and accurate. I want to read the rest of the series, but I can't. Very sad. Video over. Okay, everyone gone? I need a rant. Do you know how hard it was to find anything on this series? First thing, everything's in Japanese, which is fine, I get it. But it's a pretty hard barrier for monolingual skill issue on English search engines with English keyboards. And their websites, man. Like, I already don't understand the language. Please stop throwing more at me. Also, like I said, they apparently sold or traded or something the right of the manga to another company. But both companies don't actually have the series on their websites. They only have ghost pages. On East Press, the first company. Also, somehow, you can't find it by typing East Press, Japan, Publishing, or anything. You have to find, copy, and paste the Japanese name. If you go to the URL and type in index 2 for the Manga no Dokuha series, but nothing's there. See, this is index 1, it shows this series. This is index 3, it shows the next one, and it shows this series. It just skips over index 2, which is Manga de Dokuha, and yes, that's BL Yaoi. The Wikipedia, yes, Wikimedia is my GOAT and the best source of information, all have this website as the source, but it has nothing since they sold the Manga de Dokuha genre. And trying to find information regarding them giving away the manga is impossible. It's not on their site, not any other site seems to have it, and everything else is outdated. There's also the Manga de Dokuha website, which is dog shit. The search bar is invisible and doesn't even really work. Most information is outdated or can't be discerned. And even this website, the official Manga de Dokuha website, doesn't even have all the books that they published. And it links to their Amazon Japan series. But still, Amazon Japan sells stuff that isn't on their site. The available series from their site on Amazon both have 59 books, but there's ones like The Great Gatsby that's available on Amazon Japan by the proper publisher, listed correctly, but just isn't part of the linked series. And then if you go down to product information, there's a whole genre called Manga de Dokuha that has over 100 books. Some are duplicates or part 2s and whatnot, but there are ones that are just not linked to the series or on the official site. Back to the Wikipedia. No, let's go to the Japanese version, hopefully for some better stuff. Not. Again, all the links lead to the Ghost Manga de Dokuha East Press website. But it does have more information about the company who publishes the series now and their works. But then again, you can't find that site with its English name, nor can you even find it with its Japanese name. You have to find the specific book publisher version of their company, since they do a lot of other things. Thankfully, it's at least linked in the Japanese manga Wikipedia, where it lists the new publication by the new company. However, they only have 12 books published since they got the rights. Understandable, but again, this is a ghost page. If you go to their genre list and try to find Manga de Dokuha genre, it's not there. But it is there! Just please, someone else, someone who can read Japanese, anyone, just give me more info on this series. I'm so interested.